So over the past year, I've been a member of Marcelo Garcia in action, and I've actually come across a really cool guard passing chain that I have fallen absolutely in love with. Some of the most effective guard passes or any other techniques in Jiu-Jitsu are most effective when you're able to chain them with other moves to keep your opponent guessing. Marcelo Garcia is absolutely the GOAT and my most favorite Jiu-Jitsu athlete of all time. Which, by the way, is exactly why I have the $70 rash guard. And if you ask me, it was totally worth it. The shorts are always out of stock because the shorts are absolute bomb, but yeah, we'll get there one day. I've become very fond of Marcelo's guard passing style. Just the way he passes guards is so technical. Even against some of the most complicated guard players, I've seen him pass their guards like he's just slicing through a cut of butter. Cut of butter? What? A stick of butter. So today, I'm going to show you one of his most favorite guard passing chains that I found to be stupidly easy as long as you get the timing right. And it's all based off this one particular pass called the step over pass. People who play guard typically start seated. This gives them more quickness and mobility to keep up with your speed on your feet. Marcelo prefers to push them flat on their back because it decreases their mobility and speed drastically. As he flattens his opponent, he enters what's called standing headquarters, which is linked to a multiplicity of guard passes of choice. It's quite simple actually. Place one hand on their stomach to keep them flat, and the near side hand on top of their knee, and simply donkey kick your inside leg out. Push their knee down at the same time and immediately go on a knee on belly to stabilize the position. So I got a couple of clips of me hitting this in the past. I like to record my rules so I can go back and see what I can do better next time. I have to respect my gym's rules and keep where I train at a mystery, as well as the faces of my training partners. I'm in open guard here, so in order for me to enter standing headquarters, I have to do an initial high step over the leg. From here, I wait until I feel the timing is right. Which in my opinion, I spent way too much time just sitting here. Marcelo said this is supposed to be a quick pass, so that was my mistake. Which is exactly why I recorded my rolls, so I could go back and see this stuff. So here I go, I stand up in his open guard, I do an initial step over to enter standing headquarters, and when the timing's right, I kick and shove his knee down at the same time. Always make sure you go to knee on belly first, because if you try to enter side control, you may not even win that far side underhook, and it's just way too much space to try to cover. So Marcelo said knee on belly to stabilize, then enter side control if that's what you want to play. I hit this one a lot, so don't blink on this next one because it happens pretty quick. I push him on his back, then I high kick out straight to knee on belly. You'll actually see this pass a lot in this particular training session. We were doing like live guard passing drills. The bottom person had to do guard retention while the top person had to pass. So this one's about 8 months ago whenever I first started playing around with this guard passing chain. One of the biggest mistakes starting out was not kicking the back leg high and hard enough. So I was in the perfect position, everything was right. My only downfall was not kicking that leg hard enough. But the crazy thing about this is that Caleb didn't even have time to lock his legs, but because my kick was so soft and sissy, just him keeping them close together stopped my kick. You gotta make sure you kick that leg high to the ceiling. So this next one has a slightly different setup, but everything is the same principle. I'm attempting to go for an initial knee cut, and I see the time is right, kick the leg out and shove the knee on belly. So the second guard pass to this guard passing chain is the knee cut, which in my opinion is more of a knee slide than a knee cut, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Another possibility is they have a sticky hook and you just can't seem to kick your leg around. Unfortunately for me, I don't have enough footage of me hitting this pass, so I'm just going to show Marcelo rocking this one. So for me, number 3 on the list is probably the second most effective pass that I found for myself. So if the step over X pass doesn't work, you either have the option to knee slide, or the third one, this is what Marcelo calls the folding pass. If your opponent has locked legs, or you got stuck during the knee slide, really try to push their knees with your hand and shift them to the opposite direction. When you land, you gotta make sure all of your weight is on their legs to prevent them from moving freely. There are even moments where you can sprawl here to make it more uncomfortable for them. To finish up, just simply circle around to their backside. To make sure your opponent can't block your legs from circling around, use your far leg shin to pin their leg down so you can backstep and circle around. The last chain pass to the sequence is when your opponent reacts by grabbing your leg. This is most optimal when they're attempting to grab, not when they already have. There's a big difference. Although I will say it is possible, but it's a lot more difficult to deal with. When you see your opponent reach for your leg, high leg over their body to get to the other side. This is the same exact concept as the folding pass, except you're using your hips to collab their legs instead of your body. The most important thing is winning that far side underhook, because the last thing you want to happen is to hit this freaking dope pass, miss the underhook, and then take your back and get all the credit for it. So an extra tip is if you can't seem to get that underhook, make sure you keep that elbow tight and tucked to your body and just wait it out. Try to get the inside elbow position. That underhook's the most important thing. You can't finish this pass without getting that underhook first. Here, my partner is trying to go in a deep half. Same principle, high leg over to the opposite side, and finish like you would a reverse knee slice. So I've had a lot of fun and a lot of success with this guard passing chain over the past year, and I've also learned a lot of do's and don'ts about it. How I got so good with this is I got my good buddy William to learn the sequence with me, and we would randomize the force so everything would be based off initial reaction. You can see Marcelo doing this as a training drill as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support you've given me over the past month and a half. I'm surprised at how well these videos are being received, and I thank you all so much for showing up. I'll see you next time.